Welcome to Epilogue Podcast, the show where we discuss some stuff that happened on a different show ages ago which nobody really cares about anymore.
Hi, I'm Portponky.
And I'm LeBloc.
Today, we're discussing Farscape, Season 2, Episode 19. Liars, Guns and Money, Part 1, A Not-So-Simple Plan. Stark returns and convinces the crew to perform a heist to save Jothi.
Well, he convinced Dargo.
Okay, fair enough.
And then they were all kind of committed.
Yes. Did you like this episode?
I did. I liked it a lot.
That seems kind of predictable. I mean, it's a good episode, and it seems like the sort of thing you would like as well.
What does that mean?
You like Prison Break stuff and heist stuff?
Yeah, I've specifically cited Prison Break stuff, and I'm also a sucker for heists. I don't know if I've mentioned that, but yes.
They're kind of similar.
Yeah, similar structure. There's planning and then execution. Stuff goes wrong.
How would you rate this heist?
Very heist-like. Actually, it's not very heisty.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so simple plan, but they deposit something, swap the containers, and extract it.
Usually heists involve more steps or are more intricate. This is pretty simple.
Yeah, there's like distracting people at key times and replacing something with a dummy thing, rerouting telephone wires, all this kind of stupid stuff, which is great. We didn't have much of that here, but I don't think that's a problem at all. But plenty of stuff went wrong.
That's key. You need stuff to go wrong, and to go wrong spectacularly where you fear for the people, or it really seems like they're going to get caught or they're screwed. And there were a lot of those moments. All heightened, of course, because of Scorpius.
A little pinch of Scorpius goes a long way. And not just Scorpius, but John is becoming completely erratic.
I was trying to figure out if that's because of proximity with Scorpius or just bad timing. I didn't. It's not too important. It's not important at all, really. It's just it happens and he has to deal with it. It could just be length of time. I don't know.
The chip knows what he knows.
Okay, so the chip knows that he's close.
Yeah, so what I understood is that it's trying to distract him, trying to slow him down, basically get him caught. But it doesn't seem terribly effective.
Well, at first it seems like he can't win. He can't overcome it. That it will distract him enough to the point where he will be caught. Aaron had to step in to apply the explodey paste.
That was self-protection of Scorpius. Well, yeah, I said it's not very effective. He only just managed to escape Scorpius, and it seemed to put him under severe mental stress.
Yeah.
He didn't just walk away from that one. He crawled away on his face while singing Star Spangled Banner.
He could carry a tune.
Weirdly, one of the few notes on the wiki is that the scene where he crawled away singing that took 15 takes.
What?
I don't know, because it doesn't seem that organized or anything. It's just two guys rolling around on the floor. They could have been laughing or having trouble keeping a straight face.
I can see that. I think it looks goofy when Scorpius has his little head canister sticking out. It looks kind of funny.
That special effect is really kind of gruesome. I don't know, it's really simple. Obviously, they just glue a thing to the side of the actor's head, and then they do the transitions with some cool special effects.
Still looks cool.
It's super convincing.
That sequence finally highlighted for me something that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and that's why can't Scorpius replace the rods himself? Usually, I didn't think about this before, but here it was vital that well, it's always vital that he replaces the rod, but here there's no one. He doesn't have any henchmen to do it. He needs it in there. Why can't he just do it? It's not out of reach.
Some people always look in the mirror when they're shaving. Like maybe he could do it with a mirror, or maybe his hands shake too much when he's in this state.
Yeah, there could be that. Also, those rods could be highly volatile or something, and if you insert them even slightly incorrectly, you could screw up your head.
Well, the thing's going to spin and slide into his brain at high speed. You probably want to make sure that's aligned correctly.
Yeah, probably.
He was reaching for it at the end, so I guess he was trying to do it himself after John crawled away. And that's the end of Scorpius then.
No.
You're not convinced?
Not at all. They would never give Scorpius an off-screen death.
Yeah. It's not particularly convincing. Speaking of people who are not dead, Stark returns after a very brief absence.
Yeah, he returned a lot quicker than I thought he would.
It's weird. He was only gone for one episode. It's set up so you think, oh, he'll be back next season.
Yeah, I thought it would be a season thing. Season opener. Here's Stark back.
No, he's back straight away.
He got bored, so he came back quickly.
He added so much to this episode.
He's very frantic now, and I like that John doesn't trust him.
John saw him press the weapons console on Talon, so he knows Stark is, I don't want to say unreliable, but like
I'll say it then. He's unreliable.
Fair enough.
He's more of a wild card than he seemed at first.
I would say unpredictable.
Yeah. Initially, he seemed like this calm dude who would heal you with his face blob and be cool with stuff. But then he goes and hits a weapons console thing, and you think, all right, I gotta watch this guy.
He was quite mad in season 1. Like when he first turned up, he was yelling just weird stuff. It's only later he confessed to John that he played up the sort of madness, but it does seem like he is quite mad. I don't want to say mad, that seems dismissive.
Okay, I'll say mad.
Jeez. Traumatized,
he seems a bit
maybe
mad
by the Aurora chair. He seems like he has mental health problems. I don't mean that flippantly. He does seem like he has difficulty.
Agreed.
He just plays it so well.
He's had a lot of practice hiding it.
When John pulls a gun on him for lying, which is another thing that John does that seems somewhat unhinged. When he puts the gun away, Stark says, "Good, good." There's a little scene in this that's a complete send-up of sort of heist logic.
I think I know exactly what scene you're bringing up.
When they steal the clothes.
Yes!
It doesn't work at all.
I love that scene so much.
it demonstrates how horrible that kind of plan is.
It's so impractical, and it would take so much time, and it's terrible, and so many people have done it. And I love that they lead you into thinking, okay, when we cut back to John and Aaron, they're going to be in guards' clothes, and they're going to sneak past. You think that, but no, that's not what happens at all.
The armor's really bulky. And I especially like that John just threw the armor and said they went that way, as if that would convince anyone. Which again is pitch perfect, because when you're suddenly panicking, you're liable to just do something stupidly useless like that. I like the little holographic map.
I liked a lot of the effects in this. We already brought up the head canister in Scorpius, and we've seen that before, but then we had the map, and then the building and the rain. I think the rain helped mask any sort of technical limitations. It still looks really nice, and the ingot spiders, those look good too. I think a lot of that has to do with being in the shadows mostly. So they knew their limitations, and they worked around that, and all the effects in this episode look really good. But yes, back to the map.
I don't really have anything to say about it. I just like it. It glows. It's a good kind of almost like seeing the light when the map comes on. Honestly, I just wanted to say I like it.
That's fair. I like it too.
So the ingot spiders. Wait, was there more than one, or was it? I think it was just one.
I think we just saw one, but obviously the implication. Oh, maybe not. Obviously, maybe there is just one.
They were kind of all rattling though.
Well, okay, one with the very strong possibility of more.
It seems likely that there's more, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you don't know. It could just be one that's really good at its job, and it sneaks around doing whatever.
It's kind of an odd to be continued.
Why? It's great. You get it both ways. You have the heroes succeed. They got their prize. Why they had the whole heist. But you also have something to look forward to and a twist on that, and they're in danger. It's the perfect to be continued.
You think? It's kind of odd to me because the whole episode works as a full, complete story, and then it's just got a little bit on the end that's like, but ...
I guess that's weird. It seems like they could have just, I don't know where it goes from here, but from what we know just from this episode, they could have started a completely new episode, and it starts with them just succeeding in a heist that we don't see because they're good at starting stories in the middle or the end, and then go from there.
Yeah, these ingot spiders could have been at the start of the next episode. Like, that wouldn't have been as good, I think, because, I guess it leads on, so it gives us something to look forward to. It's just usually when they do 2 or 3 parters on shows, it's like one big story that's divided into 2 or 3 sections.
Yeah. I have to think the depository is going to factor more into this story. It looked expensive, and all of that for one episode. I guess they could do that, but then also the blue lady who looks like a Dragon Ball Z character, she'll probably come back.
What do you think of her?
I liked her.
I'm gonna guess that there is one thing you didn't like.
What's that?
The ridiculous wordplay she does when she first speaks.
I don't even think I noticed.
You didn't notice all the words?
No.
As a race, Luxons can be inartful at love, inadequate at war, and intrinsically inept. But this one is intelligent.
Shall I execute him?
No. He also expects to be interrogated.
I didn't notice that.
I'm surprised you didn't notice, because it's kind of obvious. If you didn't notice, that's probably good, because I don't really like it when they do weird wordplay that obviously wouldn't translate properly.
Oh yeah, if I had noticed that, I would have been raging right now. My main takeaway with her, I love when characters are put in their place. So she thinks she's awesome and that she has this place secure and she's in control. And then I love that Scorpius comes in and she's completely rattled. He makes her pay for a mistake she made.
Oh,
That-
I want to talk about that.
That I like a lot. And so I didn't hear the stupid wordplay, and that's what I think of when I think of her.
Okay, it's two things I want to talk about now, but when Scorpius says he wants paid triple, then she lights up and says double. And at that point, I'm thinking, oh, Scorpius is a clever negotiator. He's opened with an overly high request so that she'll be more reasonable by paying double. And then Scorpius just has this icy look in his eyes, and he just says, triple. No, okay, Scorpius is just Scorpius.
I thought that too, that he just started high because that's what you do. And then, okay, we'll bounce back and forth and we'll get to the number that I actually wanted. But no, he actually wanted triple.
Yeah. He has a bit in the bank because Stark says they would be fabulously rich forever. The other thing I wanted to mention about Natira is that she's naked.
Oh, right.
This is okay. She's not the first alien on the show that just walks around in the nude, but it's weird.
It's not that weird.
Like Pilot's naked, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like the more reptilian ones just seem to be more naked.
They don't get yelled at as much. They're more
But-
readily accepted.
I think it's because to a person, a human viewing the show, it seems more normal for a reptilian creature to not wear clothes.
It does. Although now I want to see Pilot in a shirt.
He was wearing a shirt in Won't Get Fooled Again, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
Where he was playing the drums.
Oh, yeah.
I guess some species just don't evolve clothes socially.
I like that. I think that's what would happen.
Probably, I guess.
If you get enough species, one of them's got to think, to hell with clothes.
Well, they never need to invent them for whatever reason.
No, they invent them just so they could say to hell with them.
Oh, okay. But on the show, it's always the ones that look very inhuman. They never just meet regular-looking dudes who are nudists.
I love that Scorpius couldn't be bothered when she was licking his face.
Could be bothered. What?
He didn't care. He was indifferent.
He was enjoying it,
Oh.
was he? I don't know. It's hard to read. She was licking right in his eye as well.
I just like that the guy who wears leather all the time wasn't really into a sexual thing.
Would that even register as sexual for Scorpius?
No, he would see it as inept torture.
I just think you would need to really put in some effort to get Scorpius excited. Scorpius seems like kind of a grumpy guy.
Well, yeah, he has to change out those rods all the time. That would be annoying. He can't stand the heat, but he's drawn to it. That's not fair.
I just think he could cheer up a little bit. Dargo continues to kind of be a jerk.
This whole mess is his fault.
I agreed with him a little bit when he said that he never questioned if something was possible. Actually, he probably almost certainly did question that sort of thing. But the rather than the literal meaning, his appeal to camaraderie, I kind of was on his side of it. I felt they should have heard the plan rather than just being like, oh, Shadow Depository, no, come on, too hard, give up. All that seems kind of... It rushed into a highly emotional situation, which made Dargo just look like a hot-headed, kind of angry guy.
You're right, it does. They rushed that. I could tell they were eager to get to the meatier parts of the episode, but in doing that, it hurts Dargo's character.
All of this is about getting his son, which is really cool. How the solution is not to go and find where the slaves are and break Jothi out, but just to buy the slaves. It's a really cool lateral solution to the problem. But for all that this is about Dargo being reunited with Jothi, he really isn't in this episode much. He just appears a few times to get people riled up and saves the map problem at the end.
I bet that's intentional because they know Jothi stinks and they don't want us to be reminded of him. No, that's me being harsh.
Well, you may not be completely wrong. They are possibly anticipating a lot of Dargo screen time soon.
Yeah. Don't saturate the episode with Dargo when later we'll be heavy with Dargo.
Yeah, if they rescue Jothi or if they don't, either way, Dargo's going to get some serious screen time.
I'm glad you pointed out the buying of the slaves because when we first heard of Jothi's whereabouts, I immediately imagined, okay, we're going to go there, bust out Jothi. That'll be that. And I mean, that still might happen. We don't know.
It is what you immediately jump to because people who trade slaves are bad guys and the protagonists are the good guys, so they're going to get the bad guys and, do a clever one on them, rescue Jothi. But no, because the protagonists aren't that good in this show. And someone with a bunch of slaves might not be the best people to assault.
Yeah, maybe not.
They don't sort of ride the moral high ground very much. In fact, a lot of the stuff they're doing here is sort of awful. They even justify it to themselves that they're just stealing from other criminals, so it's
that
legit.
makes it all fine.
But they don't even know that. What's your predictions for what happens next? I usually ask that in a multi-parter.
Rigel will save the day again.
Well, he did in this episode, so...
Yeah, that was for practice.
There was a lot of cool shots in this episode. A lot of cool shots. I'm specifically thinking of when the vault arrives. At super rapid speed, and when Rigel is inside the sort of vault chamber.
It's fun to look at new sets when we mostly see Moya all the time.
These would be good anyway. It's not simply a change from Moya. I mean, perhaps it is because the actual internal of the depository was a bit bland. I
didn't like the gates.
Generic corridors and doorways, but the vault stuff was really cool.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
The external of the depository was really cool. Did you know guards in shadow depositories cannot hold their breath?
Wait, what?
She launches a gas attack.
Oh.
None of them hold their breath. I'm guessing you'd have to breathe it in. That's the only way it could be that fast acting.
It's advanced gas.
Oh,
Goes through pores.
Gas Plus.
Yeah.
Do you have a quote from this episode which you would like to share with us?
Bonnie and Clyde. Oh no, forget about that one. It's a bad ending.
Oh, interesting. I was sure it was going to be one of two specific quotes, and you picked neither.
The blue bitch said this would be easy.
No.
Did you pick that one?
No. I thought you might pick on John's spiel about the KFC.
Oh, that was really good.
Which, by the way, he paraphrased Scorpius.
He did?
Yeah, he said, "It is, to my knowledge, unique in the universe, and unique is always valuable."
I don't remember when Scorpius said it.
On the royal planet, when John was hidden on the spaceship that eventually blew up, you wouldn't want to kill unique. So I thought you'd either pick KFC or the ridiculous stuff with insert the rod. Because that is another brilliant piece of self-awareness. Scorpius yelling, "Insert the rod, insert it, insert it." They know it's going to get taken out of context. So John's response, "You're really not my type." It's just a little bit of acknowledgement that, yes, their fight is weirdly
sexually charged.
Yeah, there's just like frenemies almost, but way more passionate than that. I don't know.
Well, I picked the Bonnie and Clyde one because it's also a bit of self-awareness. Until now, John's pop culture references are always on the mark, and if they're not on the mark, I think we've complained about one or two before. He's not aware of it. He still plays it off as if it were great. But here he says one and then realizes, oh no, that's terrible. I shouldn't have said that. This episode was very self-aware. We talked about several things that they knew how they would come off.
It's surprising that they fit that stuff into the episodes without it ever appearing farcical or silly.
And that's the danger. Thankfully, they didn't cross into that territory.
It's never really done for laughs. Like, it is funny. Some of the stuff that happens is humorous, but it's not played like it's comedy, because it's not comedy to the characters. Like when they're stripping the guards naked and then end up just throwing the clothes around. It's not funny to them. It's upsetting and panicking to them.
And along the same lines, Bonnie and Clyde, that's not funny to John because they die at the end. He doesn't want to think about dying.
They pitch a lot of the humor well. I mean, that's a lot of charisma, because I think the show is very charismatic. It's got a lot of likable things that work together well. A lot of that is just about, confidently doing something without making it look like you're trying really hard.
Yeah, not drawing attention to it.
This show does that very well. It does a lot of cool things, but it doesn't blow you away by going, wow! Like when the vault zooms in at super high speed and pauses right in front of them. It's a really cool little shot, and then all it gets is a quick quip. Like, yeah, people usually react like that the first time. They don't labor on it. The next time they open the vault, they don't do it again. They're not trying to blow you away with this cool thing they thought of. They just thought of a cool thing and did it. And they probably actually put a lot of effort into it, because it's the way that little scene with Zan reacting is shot is quite clever. I think they may have used accelerated film there or something. But
I don't know, but it looks cool.
Yeah, the point is, they don't make a big fuss about it. it just comes off as, yeah, it's cool. In reality, it was probably, like 100 hours work or something for 2 seconds of film, but it's all about presentation. Let's go on to the next episode. Now that all their problems are solved, thanks to them being unimaginably rich.
Okay. That's not correct.
What? No, surely.
I don't know what the exchange rate is for ingot spider.
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
Okay, bye.
Bye!